You know, one of the key features of midlife is that you don't want to waste your time anymore. So one of the things that does to me and my job is that it makes me focus much more on the things that matter the most, and I have less and less patience for the things that I just don't want to engage with that. So specifically, it makes me ask myself in my role as a CEO of a nonprofit, um, what are we doing that actually makes a difference in the world? So let me give you some examples as a way of kind of just highlighting sometimes how difficult it is to know, are you making a difference? So here we've got our organizations where our training resource page. These are trainings that we put together. This is one of the many things that we do as a nonprofit. So you have these 3 courses: Measurement with Meaning with Bill and Kelly. You've got the 2 Jeffs teaching this integrated care course for teaching graduate students. And then we have the Behavioral Health Consultation Observation Rating Scale certificate course that Daniela and Martha teach. So behind all these courses was the idea that there's a gap out there in the world. No one else is filling that gap, and we as a nonprofit can fill that gap. For the measurement course, no one's teaching real-world measurement-based care, and we need to get traction in primary care for measuring how patients are getting better, specifically for behavioral health conditions like depression, anxiety, trauma, all the things. The graduate course, all these students are coming out of Masters in LPC programs, social work, psychology. They don't know how to work in primary care. So let's teach the teachers how to teach a course on that and have all the materials at their disposal. And then the observation rating scale course, we knew there's the standards for PCBH have to be raised. PCBH is a particular model of care, of integrated care. So this course helps supervisors use a scale to rate their staff and raise those standards for their implementation of PCBH. In each of these situations, we're trying to improve things. We're trying to nudge the world of healthcare forward. I'm not interested in doing courses for courses' sake, right? I mean, we need them for revenue for our organization, but in the end, we don't exist just to do courses. And in fact, I remind my staff all the time, we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. If one day we don't need to exist as a nonprofit, awesome. Honestly, it's hard to know sometimes if we're making a difference. And a lot of these differences, we're hoping they're things that we would want to see in 10, maybe even 20 years. So I don't have an answer to this question. Maybe what I'm doing is just sharing the conundrum that especially when you're a mission-driven organization, you often don't know, especially in the moment, whether what you're doing and what you're investing your time and effort and energy into is making a difference. If you have ideas, let me know.